And she said, you're gonna come back to my room right now. And you're not going to stop whispering sweet Tommy Shelby nothings in my ear till I'm done with you. Oh, how naive I was. Hello my friends, I'm Charlie, I'm an impressionist, and this is the first part in a 3-part series, the story of my Peaky Blinders nightmare in Amsterdam. Please drop a miscellaneous engagement on the video, and I'll say the story. These events occurred in February of 2019. I got booked to perform on a Peaky Blinders themed cruise, which travelled from the European city of culture, Hull, to the architectural eyesore of Amsterdam. I wasn't getting paid particularly well. A glass of whiskey, some cigarettes, maybe a new hat if it went well. Pretty good. I was booked to perform a 10-minute set of Peaky Blinders impressions. Not too different to this.
You got yourself at attention. I order off the Peaky Blinders. Arthur, the children are scared of you. That is why we're taking you off reception. We're giving it to Alfie Solomon's.
You fucking what, man? Fuck off.
Now, anyone who didn't know what that last thing was, that was an impression of every role that Tom Hardy's ever done. I arrived in Hull early to take in the culture. On the boat, I met 3 fellas. Lookalikes they were. The first, Tommy Shelby spitting image. He looked exactly like Tommy Shelby, but he couldn't do the voice.
For the sake of this story, I'll give him the Tommy Shelby voice.
Alfie Solomon's looked kinda like Tom Hardy and he could do the voice.
And the John Shelby lookalike couldn't do the voice and didn't really look like John Shelby. He was as much a John Shelby lookalike as I was. It's a fortunate coincidence that he didn't say anything for this entire story. Basically, they looked like the Peaky Blinders if you bought them from wish.com.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh.
Well, son, is he the one you wanted? Bet you to that one comment section.
I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but there was something unsettling about travelling on a 1920s themed cruise ship. Let's just say I practiced impressions of women and children just to hedge my bets. If the ship were to sink, the Peaky Blinders Impressionist band and lookalikes all had strict orders to keep performing to calm the guests.
Lady, will you stop screaming, alright? You are ruining this show, alright?
What they didn't tell me when they booked me was that only half the ship had been booked for the Peaky Blinders event. The other half had been booked for a Batman convention, so that the Cillian Murphy and Tom Hardy lookalikes could double up. Our half had the only bar on board. So because everyone ended up on our half of the ship, half the people watching my performance were just going, what is it doing? What is going on? The Peaky Blinders fans wanted Alfie Solomon's. The Batman fans wanted Bane. In the end, I just went, and both sets of fans went, yeah, that's spot on, that. A lot of the clientele were assertive older women, and they were all flocking to the Tommy Shelby lookalike. He was really rubbing it in my face, but one walked straight past him and said to me, she said, you're gonna come back to my room right now, and you're not going to stop whispering sweet Tommy Shelby nothings in my ear till I'm done with you. And I was like, yeah, can't win them all, mate. And while you do that, he's going to fuck me. It was only when I was leaving a room that I thought to myself,
That was degrading. Yeah, you like that, do you? I do. I mean, he does.
Oh look, it's me in another green jumper with a haircut. Possibly from the future or maybe the past. Some of you may know that animation is quite expensive, and the animation for this entire series has been paid for by today's sponsor, Private Internet Access. They've supported me to make this expensive new style of content. So if you're in the market for a VPN, particularly one that doesn't require a login code, and you want to support the channel, please consider them for your VPN needs. Private Internet Access is available for all operating systems. It's very easy to use and is PC Mag's editor's choice. It is the cheapest VPN on the market at $3, and unlike every other VPN on the market, no login is required. It's click and play. Not only does it give you greater internet security, it also allows you to unlock streaming sites from different countries. Say, heaven forbid, Peaky Blinders were taken off your Netflix, you could go to a different country where it's still on and still watch Tommy and Arthur and the gang. I've personally used it in the past to watch The Office, the American Office, when it was taken off British Netflix. And with 2 years and 3 months free at $2.08 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee, it provides great value. So if you're looking for a VPN, you can't go far wrong with Private Internet Access. Now back to the past or the future.
The people on board, they'd gone all out with the costumes. Fruit of the Loom shirt and a flat cap. Okay, about 30% of them had gone all out. The other 70% looked like they were at a school disco and had just waited around after school for it to start. All the men did have the haircut though. Even Batman. I just can't imagine that the original Tommy Shelby would have been happy with that haircut.
Arthur, I asked her to show back in silence. It's like she wasn't even watching. And while she was doing it, I was going to say something. Then she brought out that little mirror. And I just found myself saying, "No, yeah, that's really good, thank you."
Though apparently the actual Peaky Blinders cut each other's hair.
Right stuff. You want any gel?
Having narrowly missed the icebergs, we docked into Amsterdam about 8 in the morning. We also found out that the John lookalike was getting docked half his fee for getting into a fight last night at the bar. If you're looking for authenticity, if anything, he should have got a bonus. I didn't have time for breakfast before we got off to go around the city. The only thing we had to focus on was we had to be back at the bus before 5 p.m. or it would leave without us. The fellas went for a walk around Amsterdam so people could take pictures of them, but we all met up at this shaver's bar where people could get a Turkish shave. You can achieve the same thing with a few tinnies and a trip to Boots. The lookalikes came over to me and they said,
We're thinking of going and getting some, baked goods. If you want to join.
And I hadn't had breakfast, so I was like, yeah, I'm bloody famished.
Afternoon, Mr. Barkeep. Whiskey, neat. And some brownies.
The barman pointed us to a perfectly normal looking cafe across the canal. Lovely ambience, by which I mean full of smoke. We crossed the canal and entered the perfectly normal looking cafe. Half cut, dressed in Peaky Blinders suits and hats, we were getting a lot of looks. I could sense that we were not particularly welcome. Thankfully, I was wearing civilian clothes, plus the Peaky Blinders hat, which I took off slyly, taking care not to cut myself to pieces, and I blended in with the crowd, distancing myself from the lookalikes. We got served by a white lady with dreadlocks.
Do you have the brownies? Do you have the blondies? Just want to try some.
She didn't seem overly impressed that she had to serve the cast from the last of the summer wine, but she came back with 4 tiny cakes. That wasn't going to fill me up. Alfie took the 4 cakes and read us the instructions on the packet.
It's 1 p.m. now. These cakes last for 4 hours.
Perfect, just in time for 5 p.m. The effects will have worn off.
We'll only try half to begin with, alright? Because I hear that they like to give tourists stupid amounts.
Problem was, I already scoffed the whole thing. Not to be outcaked, the rest of them scoffed the entire thing as well.
4 beers as well.
The lady said quite calmly, "You'll have to go somewhere else for beer." Well, that's what her mouth said. Looking back, her eyes said, "You tourist rubes are in for quite the afternoon." We wandered round the corner of a street into a bar and waited for the sugar rush.
I can't feel nothing. This is bullshit. Should we go back, get another one?
I first knew something was wrong because Tommy was actually laughing at my jokes. Thing is, I wasn't making any jokes. I looked down and my mouth was laughing as well. Then we were all laughing at how much we were laughing. After a little bit, Alfie was starting to get pissed off.
I must have got a dad. I'm bigger than you two fucking children now. That's why it's not affecting me.
Alfie, just take a look at yourself.
I think I need more of the...
What's the time?
Now we had 45 minutes to catch the last bus out of Amsterdam, with zero idea of where we were or where we needed to get to, in the biggest head funk that I'd ever been in. So we got up and calmly gathered our things and exited the establishment. We were frantically trying to retrace our steps and stumbled down a dark alley. Tommy said,
"We need to relax."
but my brain just was not working. It was as the knockoff Peaky Blinders stood there, bathed in a red glow, that they remembered that there was something else that Amsterdam was famous for. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the second and third installment, which will be coming soon. See you later.